It's Friday, March 13th. In the headlines, opposition offers alternative budget plan to close a fiscal gap without new taxes. Cuban medical staff pull out of St. Thomas as Jamaica's medical cooperation agreement with Cuba comes to an end. In business news, survey says Jamaicans prefer cash over mobile money apps. Regionally, in Grenada, Senator Salim Rahman urges regional oil action. And in sports, Cricket West Indies names women's squad for a T20 series against Australia. This is the weekend news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. Opposition spokesman on finance, Julian Robinson, is proposing what he describes as an alternative way for the government to raise billions of dollars in revenue without introducing new taxes. Speaking during his contribution to the 2026-2027 budget debate in the House of Representatives on Thursday, Robinson argued that stronger tax compliance and targeted economic initiatives could help close the fiscal gap while easing pressure on Jamaicans still recovering from last year's hurricane season. He says the government can increase revenue without adding new taxes by strengthening tax compliance and modernizing revenue collection systems. He argues that Jamaicans are still recovering from the impact of Hurricane Melissa, which devastated sections of the southwestern and northwestern parts of the island in October last year.
Businesses are earning less, households are spending less, and the government's chosen response is to extract more revenue from an already financially stressed population. That does not sustainably address the fiscal challenge.
Central to the opposition's proposal is the introduction of an electronic invoicing system at Tax Administration Jamaica.
Transactions can go unrecorded, uploads can be incomplete, and there can be a gap between what was earned and what was reported. The electronic invoicing system changes that dynamic fundamentally. Rather than waiting for businesses to upload their records after the fact, the transaction data is captured and transmitted immediately to TAJ automatically at the point of sale. The government is no longer relying on voluntary compliance. The information flows directly and is matched automatically against what has been declared and remitted.
Mr. Robinson also raised questions about the government's planned $10 billion tax on sugary drinks, which is scheduled to take effect in the upcoming fiscal year. While acknowledging that excessive sugar consumption is a serious public health concern, he suggested the measure may not be the most effective solution.
If the primary concern is about reducing sugar outcomes, the government has more effective tools that can be used to do so. The government can mandate local manufacturers and importers to reformulate their products so that sugar content is reduced in those products and provide a time frame by which those manufacturers and importers do so.
The government has argued that the new tax forms part of a broader strategy to address non-communicable diseases linked to high sugar consumption. But Mr. Robinson suggests effective implementation of the school nutrition program.
If we want to meet the health outcomes, let us start as government with how we formulate the products that are sent to our schools. And we would have the desired outcome of reducing sugar in the level of sugar that is consumed.
He says these suggested measures could generate revenue while supporting long-term economic growth. The budget debate continues with a contribution from the opposition leader Mark Golding on Tuesday, March 17. The PBCJ will have live coverage of the proceedings. Medical Officer of Health for St. Thomas, Dr. Diane Smith, says Cuban medical staff have already vacated their post in the parish due to the end of the country's medical cooperation agreement.
We were hit, unfortunately, last week, Thursday, with the loss of our doctors who are on the doctors, nurses, dental surgeons who are on the bilateral contract between the two governments, Jamaica and Cuba. We have lost staffing, but for this week we have made our adjustments and we are maintaining the quality that we need to maintain for the people of St. Thomas.
He says it's an unfortunate situation, but measures are being taken to replace the staff.
We have nurses that were onboarding presently, Jamaican nurses that were onboarding presently, and we have done interviews for doctors who will be onboarding soon also. So by another couple of weeks, we should be functionally back to where we were.
Jamaica has officially terminated its 5 decades-long cooperation with the Cuban government as of March 2026, following the expiration of the previous deal in February 2023. The decision stems from disagreements over new terms and conditions related to worker compensation and labor standards, resulting in the withdrawal of Cuban health personnel from Jamaica's public health sector. The Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Christopher Tufton, says the ministry is working on implementing contingencies to mitigate disruptions. He gave an update at a press conference this week.
The intention is to work with the existing team up to the point when they may discontinue or continue, depending on where the discussions lead, and beyond that, to find alternative ways to continue the work.
At the start of this month, there were 260 Cuban healthcare workers in the public health sector, the bulk of whom operate in the Southeast Regional Health Authority, which is served by 97 of them, according to data from the ministry. Persons and organizations carrying out relief work related to Hurricane Melissa in Western Jamaica will no longer receive free access to toll roads starting Wednesday, April 1. The Toll Relief Initiative was introduced last November after the Category 5 storm struck in October, causing widespread damage across several western parishes. Under the measure, vehicles transporting humanitarian aid and essential supplies were allowed to travel toll-free. In a media release, the Toll Authority of Jamaica says the initiative helped improve access to social protection services, supported small business recovery, and facilitated infrastructure repairs as communities worked to return to normal. The authority also expressed appreciation to stakeholders and partners who supported the effort and Jamaica's ongoing recovery. As cyber threats continue to rise globally, experts are urging individuals to take stronger steps to protect their personal data, warning that careless online habits can leave sensitive information such as banking details, passwords, and identification numbers vulnerable to cybercrimes.
People often share personal information without realizing, whether it's their name, address, photos, or even live location. As sharing becomes second nature, protecting personal information must be prioritized.
Your data is the new hot commodity. Everybody needs your data to not only inform AI, but also create technologies and other digital solutions that can help you. Your data also informs whether you get a job or even a credit card. So protecting your data is important because it means ultimately protecting you.
Once exposed, your information can be misused in ways that directly affect your safety, finances, and future opportunities.
We are now in the information age where everybody wants to share information, but it's important to note that whatever you share goes into the public domain. You can't take it back. Being mindful of not just the things you share, but how you share it as well is important, because your potential employers are looking at that kind of thing. Be careful not to post certain images. After a while, delete those images. Do not share certain things like your live location. Don't spontaneously complete different questionnaires or surveys about yourself.
One of the most common errors people make is reusing the same password across multiple platforms.
So sometimes, for example, the same password that you use for your banking apps, the same password you use for your social media apps. This exposes individuals because if a hacker gets a hold of one password, they get a hold of all the other passwords.
Oversharing personal details, downloading suspicious apps that promise rewards, and clicking unknown links are other frequent missteps that expose users to data breaches.
So you're out for dinner and people know what you ate, where you went, how long you spent. It's important that people are careful in the amount of information that they share. Also, be careful not to download suspicious apps that make promises about certain rewards that you can get, whether monetary or otherwise.
And be mindful of saving your banking details on online shopping platforms.
Ensure as well that they do not subscribe to shopping websites that are too good to be true. They often tell you, oh, if you're a first-time shopper, you get 50% off, 75% off. Be careful as well not to save your password and profile information to the device that you use to shop online as well.
Also, be on guard when using public Wi-Fi, which, though convenient, is risky.
The challenge with public Wi-Fi is that it does not have the protection that you would have, for example, in your home Wi-Fi. Under the Data Protection Act, you have a right to 1. Prevent processing, object to direct marketing, 3. Object to automated decision making, rectify any information that a data controller has about you that is incorrect, and also you have a right to access information that a data controller has about you. In the event that a data subject suspects that their data is being misused, it is advised that they first make a report to the data protection officer affixed to the organization in question. However, if no positive steps are taken to remedy this misuse, they can escalate the matter by making a report at the Office of the Information Commissioner. That is the oversight body in relation to data protection. We underestimate the power of information, and sometimes when we share, we don't think about where it can end up and how it can affect us in the future. But it is important to acknowledge that your data is your responsibility, and therefore you must do all you can to protect it.
Time now for the business report with Denise Williams.
Welcome to today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, bringing you the developments shaping markets, capital access, and business decision-making across Jamaica and the region. Let's get into the stories that matter. A survey conducted by Branch Consulting and Outsourcing Services last year indicated to RJA News that 9 out of every 10 Jamaicans have ready access to cash, but only 6 out of every 10 have access to a phone with a mobile money app. The same survey also revealed that cash remains the most widely used in-person payment method, while indicating that its dominance is reduced when the payments of large sums are required. The firm also found that credit cards are used mostly to facilitate payments for high-value purchases such as gasoline, durable goods such as jewelry, utility bills, and digital subscription and taxes. Meanwhile, Branch Consulting is also reporting that 9 out of 10 respondents to the survey revealed that they did not use the central bank digital currency. Approximately 3 out of every 10 credit card users said the point-of-sale machine in the country are reliable, while 5 stressed that they were not so reliable. For the trading period of March 12, 2026, the most actively traded securities were A.S. Bryden & Sons Holdings 6% Class A preference shares with 7,840,121 units, or 31.45% of market sales activities. Future Energy Source Company Limited ordinary shares with 3,297,782 units, representing 13.23% of market sales activities. Kentire Holdings Jamaica Limited shares with 2,909,509 units, representing 11.67% of market sales activity. Investor activities remain concentrated in distribution, media, and energy plays, signaling continued interest in dividend-producing and strategic assets on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. Turning to the foreign exchange market based on Bank of Jamaica data for March 12, 2026, Forex traders recorded significant activity with strong demand across major currencies. For the US dollar, trading margins reflected steady liquidity, with the US selling at $157.94 and buying at $155.95. For the Canadian dollar, moderate gains supported by $2.26 transaction spreads meant the Canadian dollar sold for $113.85 and was bought for $116.11. For the British pound, continued volatility offered short-term trading opportunities of $1.32 in profits for the banks. The British pound sold for $208.47 and was bought for $209.79. These movements underscore the importance of cash flow timing and currency awareness for businesses managing import costs, debt servicing, or overseas exposure. For our credit report tip of the day, life rarely organizes financial responsibilities neatly. Instead, they arrive together, supporting children, managing health, maintaining a home, and preparing for the years ahead. Your credit report cannot solve every challenge, but it can give you something incredibly valuable: clarity. Clarity about where you stand, clarity about options available, and clarity about the next steps that move you closer to the life you envision. And when clarity meets intention, something powerful happens. You stop feeling overwhelmed by the financial demands of this season of life, and you start leading it with confidence, because ultimately your financial story is still being written. And it is tools like your credit report that help ensure that the ending is one you choose. In our Funded and Focus feature, the most successful companies are using AI, but they're not chasing every new tool. Instead, they focus on building a simple stack that supports their business goals: attract clients, manage finances, build strong teams, raise capital, scale operations. When AI tools are aligned with those goals, they stop being software subscriptions and start becoming profit-generating systems. The biggest mistake beginners make with AI is that they subscribe to many tools, but it doesn't add up to a system. So as we have been saying, do this. Start just with one goal, right? So you have a list, but just start with one. Pick more clients, better cash flow, faster marketing, less admin work, okay? And then add AI tools slowly around that goal. And this leads to the real opportunity most people are missing, which is AI is not just about productivity, it's about economic leverage. In the past, growing a business required more staff, more overhead, more time. Now a small business owner can operate like a much larger company using AI. That's the real shift happening now. And that's today's Business Report. I'm Denise Williams, bringing clarity to capital markets and strategy. Until next time, stay informed, stay intentional, and keep building forward. See you soon.
In regional news, in Grenada, Business Senator Salim Rahman says Caribbean countries should work together to manage the effects of rising and falling oil prices and urges a gradual move toward renewable energy to protect regional economies.
While there is a common saying that when developed countries sneezes, the Caribbean catches a cold, Business Senator Salim Rahman is encouraging a regional strategy to help address the challenges associated with fluctuating energy prices. His comment comes against the backdrop of Grenada's and other Caribbean nations' heavy reliance on imported oil.
And what we need to do is to make sure that we strengthen our trade within CARICOM as much as possible. Talking about resilience within our own CARICOM communities can help to keep costs down. And so we need to look towards that. We can't always be reactive. We have to be proactive in how we plan.
Senator Rahman noted that although oil prices surged to nearly $120 per barrel earlier this week, they later dropped to around $85 per barrel as of March 11th. He said the recent rise and fall in oil prices should not cause immediate panic.
So immediately, there shouldn't be any raising of prices right away and so on. These things take a while. But if that issue is not solved, because this war was created for whatever reasons that they say. The reality is that now that strait has been closed. So the implication for us is that if that continues, then we will feel some aspect of it.
Rahman also believes the gradual transition towards renewable energy could help reduce the region's dependence on imported fossil fuel and protect Caribbean economies from global oil shocks.
So if you know that you have to pay more at the pump, and you know you have a little land in the back of your yard, put something down. Supplement your income with something. And so we need to slowly shift away. And I wish that we were further advanced in our oil and gas exploration or development.
The senator believes taking action now can help shield Caribbean economies from future global price shocks. Rena Pierre-Thomas, GBN News.
The issue of Caribbean nationals seeking asylum overseas is drawing renewed attention following recent changes to travel arrangements between the United Kingdom and one regional country. But Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew says the situation in St. Kitts and Nevis appears different, noting that only a small number of nationals have sought asylum through the Federation's international partners. He also pointed to recent changes to the country's Citizenship by Investment program, which he says have helped address concerns raised internationally.
Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew has disclosed that only a small number of St. Kitts and Nevis nationals have requested asylum from the Federation's international partners. The issue has come under increased international scrutiny following the United Kingdom's decision last week to remove visa-free access for St. Lucian nationals, citing among several concerns a rise in the number of St. Lucian citizens seeking asylum in the UK. During the roundtable with the media on Tuesday, March 10th, SK Newsline asked the Prime Minister whether St. Kitts and Nevis should be concerned about a potential increase in economic citizens seeking asylum in the UK or Europe, and the possible impact this could have on the country's Citizenship by Investment program.
The AG reported to me because he had an engagement with one of the international partners, and reported that the numbers that seek asylum are extremely low from St. Kitts and Nevis's end, especially since we have made the changes. And I note that this is very much welcome by our international partners. So I can say that. We have had before, but we have seen a significant drop-off because of the changes. And if that is a basis on which that is done, we don't see any threat based on our numbers presently.
The Prime Minister said the previous management of the CBI program under the former Team Unity administration had placed the program at risk of challenges similar to those currently facing St. Lucia.
But if we have kept up the nonsense about buyer meets seller and prices determined for the product, I can tell you without a doubt that we would have been on that list today.
According to the UK Home Office, the decision to remove visa-free access for St. Lucia nationals was influenced by asylum statistics. Between January 2022 and December 2025, some 360 St. Lucia nationals applied for asylum in the United Kingdom, with 128 applications, or 36%, made at ports of entry. At the end of the most recently published quarter in December 2025, 222 St. Lucia nationals were receiving asylum support, including 213 individuals residing in accommodations provided by the UK Home Office. I'm Andre Huey reporting for SKN Newsline.
In sports, we go to cricket. The West Indies women are gearing up for one of their biggest challenges of the year, a T20 international series against the world's top-ranked side, Australia. The three-match series bowls off on March 19th at the Arnos Vale in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and is a crucial part of the team's World Cup preparation. Nasir Mohammed has that story.
Cricket West Indies has named an unchanged West Indies women's squad from their recent series against Sri Lanka for the upcoming T20 international series against Australia, the number one ranked T20 side in the world. The three-match series runs from March 19th to 23rd at Arnos Vale Cricket Ground in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, before the two teams travel to Warner Park in St. Kitts and Nevis for a three-match ODI series. The series is a key part of the Maroon Warriors' build-up to the ICC Women's T20 World Cup, set for England later this year. The squad features experienced match winners in Captain Hayley Matthews, Stefani Taylor and Deandra Dottin, alongside wicketkeeper Shemaine Campbell, who is expected to earn her 150th T20 international cap during the series. Teenage prospects Ebony Brathwaite, just 17, and 19-year-old Jazara Claxton also feature. Head coach Shane Deeds says the squad is ready for the challenge ahead. The West Indies have not faced Australia in a competitive match since October 2023, making this series an important measuring stick as the Maroon Warriors aim to arrive at the World Cup firing on all cylinders.
This has been the Weekend News on PBCJ. Thanks so much for watching.